Hello, everyone. Thank you so much on being a part of Chat About AI videocast. Today, I have a very special guest, Georgia Austin. Thank you so much for joining us. You're an incredible founder. You were in the top 1% of Fiverr, and now you're on your own journey as a founder of Wordbrew. So I want you to tell me more about it. What has that journey been like? Um, Tell me how you came about, really embracing technology and AI and just the fascination I have with your hard work and everything you've put into this company.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for having me, Vicky. I know it's taken us a little while to make this happen, but I'm happy that we finally were able to do it. So happy to walk through my journey. It's been
Yes.
pretty crazy to say the least. So when I decided to go freelance, I quit my job in London. I was working full time as a copywriter for a female activewear brand, similar to Lululemon. And
Yeah.
then when I moved to Brazil in 2020, I really did not have any plan of what I wanted to do next. But once I arrived about a month in, I ended up creating an account on Fiverr, really not expecting anything to happen. And then I got my first order in 2 days. And fast forward to today, and I've grown that into a just over $3 million business with a team of over 400 writers and industry experts. And we've actually served just over 12,000 unique clients across the globe. So it's truly amazing, been an incredible journey. And yeah, now I guess I'm challenging myself to turn all of these learnings into my second business, Wordbrew, which is really my focus today. And at the moment, we're gearing up to launch our software platform in January.
In January, that's coming up fast. We're in November, end of November here. Are you excited? What is that platform going to be like? Tell me more about it.
Yeah, for sure. So I think the first thing I'll say is Wordbrew is the brainchild of my experience on Fiverr and all the customer pain points that I had heard when I've been speaking to hundreds, thousands of customers on calls. People said the same things over and over. They're overwhelmed. Even in this post AI world now, the demand for unique and truly high quality content has really skyrocketed. And the main thing that people would say to me all the time is they would come to me and say, you know, we have the ideas, we have the expertise, but we need you to turn it into content, basically. And so, seeing as we already had our network of experts, we now had this AI technology, and I now knew a ton about all of these customer pain points and difficulty kind of turning knowledge into content. I remember I was sat on my egg chair. I was saying the same thing on a podcast recently. I was sat on my egg chair, which is my prime thinking and creativity space. And I kind of shot up and I was like, oh, what if I combined these two technologies, if you will, together and quite literally help people turn knowledge into content? So, really, Wordbrew is a collaborative content platform that turns insights into content. So, whether that's insights or knowledge or data from your team, your company, or if you want to pull in insights from our external network of experts in Wordbrew's network, then you can also do that for that horizontal expertise as well. So super, super easy and frictionless to, quite literally turn a voice memo into a unique content piece.
Wow. And the thing that really resonates with me is insights, right? We're in this information rich society right now. There's data coming at us from every direction, in form of video, in form of chat, in form of, it could be anything, audio in this case, right? And so how do you sift through that noise? And so you really saw that as a pain point, just sifting through all the noise and all the knowledge and really summarizing that. And that's why high quality content is something that's needed out there today.
Yeah, for sure. I think the one thing I always tell people and think about myself is even with this incredible AI technology, humans and our lived experiences are not going anywhere. And the
Mm.
reality, especially in content, is that it's those exact insights, perspectives, experiences that make the content unique and interesting. And the other thing to this is it does really take a village to create great content, but there's not really an easy way to do that right now. And again, that's another reason why I wanted to build Wordbrew, where you can really easily collaborate within your team to unlock their insights and turn those insights into content. You don't have to be a writer, you don't have to be the marketer. Of course, the marketer could be the one coordinating all of this, but they can be the one to think, okay, if I'm creating this content piece on um, you know the best holiday gifts, or whatever your content piece is, you might want to reach out to certain people in your team who have been speaking directly with the customers, and they know the pain points, they know their desires, and everything in between. You can pull in those voices from those people and make your content more unique, more targeted than you ever would be able to otherwise.
And why is it important to have a unique and targeted content? Why would brands want that?
Because without uniqueness and without bringing in your perspectives, your insights, your voice, you're just a copycat version of everything else, especially if you're using AI, right? Because of course everyone knows this, if you're using a language model the same as everybody else is, then you're going to get the same content, you're going to get the same opinions, it's being pulled from the same places. And so if you bring in the unique ideas, perspectives from the people in your team, or like I said, other experts that have that unique knowledge, then you're able to better engage your customers, potentially speed up the time to value, conversions, and everything in between.
Yeah, so important. I think you bring up such an important point just at a bigger scale, even. I think with AI and automation, it's almost like we're losing some of that uniqueness and that voice,
Mhm.
right? And so I want to kind of bring you embrace technology. So where does that uniqueness and voice and this beauty that comes from communicating something kind of lie with AI, now being able to produce content as well, writing fairly well. But again, the question becomes, does it have that uniqueness? And how do you combine the strengths of artificial intelligence and, amazing, insightful content that you write?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an art and a science to this. And, you know, even as we've been building out the platform, it's so hard to make anything perfect. And I think that's definitely one thing you have to remember when using AI is, it is a sidekick. It's, humans augment AI. It's not the other way around. So, firstly, remembering that, AI isn't the end all be all solution. It's something you can collaborate with, a sparring partner, a creativity sidekick, whatever, however you want to use it. You can use it as a partner and then help it extract your ideas, your knowledge, or synthesize your knowledge and insights into something cohesive. And then, of course, the expectation, at least from Wordbrew's side, is we make sure that people are kind of going through that content piece at the end to make sure that it is exactly, what you wanted to say, what the intention is, accurate, and everything else like that.
Yeah. So really high quality content is the key here, and showcasing the information and expertise. And this comes, I want to talk a little more about maybe your Fiverr experience and how, again, the pain points kind of grew into your own company, and how you want to utilize AI in WordBrews. You kind of move forward. What are some of the learnings and the utilization?
Yeah, so I think I touched on some of these earlier, but the main pain point that I heard is that people had ideas. They would always come to me. I had somebody yesterday message me on Fiverr, or message my team who told me,
Yeah.
and they said, the person literally said, we need to turn our ideas into content to better engage our customers, to build thought leadership. And I guess thought leadership is a really big component here because of AI.
Yeah.
It's now democratized access to content creation, and there's this kind of standard level of kind of expertise, I guess. So
Mhm.
that's even more important. Another more important reason for humans and true experts to bring in their perspectives and their opinions, their predictions, and further augment AI to, think of new things. Even though it's not thinking of new things, you're giving it the ideas and perspectives. So again, this co-creation is super, super important. And that's something I really, really learned and heard a lot about on the Fiverr side.
Yeah, the thought leadership, this is one area that's super interesting to me. I see a lot more, LinkedIn is a great platform where people can share thought leadership and connect with each other. And you're a big believer in networking. Um, so I want to maybe explore a little bit more your beliefs around like networking and creating a community because you're incredibly good at that. And so, what are some of the things that you've learned from Fiverr, from this amazing group of content creators that you've organized? Um, Tell me, how do we do it well? Like, how do we build our brand? How do we network with others who are building their brand? It's a fairly complex process.
Yeah, I think I agree with everything. The most important thing for me is always have passion, and you can't force anything at the end of the day. So, always have passion and curiosity. And that's definitely something that I abide by in the way that I work and how I speak with people, how I engage with them, how I build relationships, business relationships, and everything in between. It's always about, you know, taking genuine care and curiosity in what they're building and asking the right questions and having a real deep appreciation for what they're working on. I definitely think that's something that's really carried me through, but also something that comes naturally to me. But also passion, right? You can't force passion. If you're not passionate about something, it shines through in the content you create. It shines through in your work, and I think, yeah, those two words are the most important ones when I think about that.
Yes, I mean, everyone talks about passion. I think passion is so important. I always have a hard time defining what that is, right? Is it a combination of our strengths and our likes?
Mhm.
Is it a combination of what the market needs and kind of how you apply your strengths? I always struggle with that. How do you define passion?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say what the market needs, because if you're just doing something because the market needs it, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. It should be a mix of what you're passionate about and what you're good at. If you're just passionate about it, that's not enough to carry you through, in my opinion. So you really do have to find a balance. I mean, this is a totally unrelated example, but when I was preparing to go to university, I finished my A levels in the UK, finished high school, and then I was initially going to go to the University of Manchester to study French and Japanese. And
Oh,
then I last minute decided to change my course, and I switched to geography and anthropology because I was thinking I can still travel a lot when I'm in university. I can go learn another language and live in another country in the summer or whatever. And that's exactly what I ended up doing with
yeah,
Brazil. But you know, studying French, it was always a push for me. I really enjoyed it. I loved learning languages so much,
yeah.
but I wasn't quite naturally good at it. It did take me some time to really, you know, you know, memorize everything and get good grades. So I was thinking, is my passion enough for me to do well and succeed in this university? And so I was like, maybe not. So I took a bit of a risk, and I ended up changing my course, and I went to the University of Sussex to study geography and anthropology. And lo and behold, I became fluent in Portuguese after my
That's
time at
amazing.
university.
Yeah. And you couldn't even predict that journey, right? It just kind of like evolved itself.
Yeah,
Very,
exactly. I had no plans to go to Brazil until I studied a course at university. We did in one of the semesters we had a course on Latin America and communities in my anthropology side of my degree, and
yeah.
that was when I was thinking, maybe I should do some field work there. I should write my dissertation on a topic in a community in Brazil, and that's what I did. So I ended up applying for a grant, and my university sponsored me to go to Brazil and do my field work, and then I spent 3 months there, made friends, and learned Portuguese, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and now you're in Brazil as we speak, right? Which is truly incredible.
Yep. Oh,
I
8 years
mean, it
later.
became a huge part of your life.
Yeah, exactly. No, like I said, I moved to Brazil at the start of 2020. So I first went to Brazil at the start of 2016. I kept going back on vacation and for my field work at university. And then I decided to bite the bullet after spending, I think I worked in London for maybe 2 years total. And then at the start of 2020, I decided to make the move and I came to Brazil full time.
Amazing. And now the technology that we have, right, including AI and everything else, you've created this platform that's going live in January. Is there anything that you want others to know, like people listening to this podcast right now? What would you want them to know about your platform and how do they get engaged? Or if they need to write, thought leadership content or something for their companies, how do they work with you to get that done?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are actually running a beta program as of Monday next week, so the 2nd of December. I'm not sure when this will be released, but our beta program starts in December, and then the intention is to launch in early January. So if
Yeah.
anyone is interested in joining the beta program, you will, of course, get free access and then just give us the feedback you can. It will be super, super helpful for us to help shape the platform into what we the number one content collaboration platform. And then, of course, on the expert side, anyone can apply to be an expert. Of course, we do have criteria and specifics that need to be matched in order for us to onboard you. But you can apply to be an expert. You can get paid to share your knowledge and insights on different topics, and you can actually choose your own rate, whether it's free or whether you charge up to any amount for an insight. It's totally up to you.
Choose your own rate. That sounds, tell me more about kind of from a leadership perspective. You're the founder of this company. Why did you decide to go with kind of choose your own rate perspective? It's a very interesting pricing structure.
Yeah, because I think we really wanted to unlock this dormant value because obviously, you have LinkedIn collaborator articles, people are contributing on LinkedIn for social recognition or for a badge. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much more that can come from this. And, you also have other platforms like Help a B2B Writer, or I guess that was Haro, or Help a B2B Writer acquired Haro, or maybe it was another company, I can't remember. But people were also providing insights on those platforms for free, but there's only a specific kind of expert or group of people that are willing to provide free insights. So my intention was that we could have this incredible expert network of people who can provide insights at a rate that suits them. So it's really up to you. You can change the rate at any time, and we're able to, help brands connect with experts across industries, different levels of expertise, different experiences with companies and products. And that's really the goal, to build this gigantic expert network where you can really easily tap into expert knowledge.
That's very, very cool. Do you plan to like curate any articles based on this expertise, or is it really purely kind of one-on-one or whatever interaction, or do you see it as a one-to-many kind of interaction like LinkedIn has, like you post and then many people can read it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So actually, our model is it's entirely asynchronous. So essentially, somebody can invite you as an expert to contribute on a specific section in a piece of content or on the entire content piece itself. And you would get a request in your email saying that somebody has invited you to contribute. And then you can actually select if you provide a text insight, so a written insight, or you can actually record a voice memo to submit your insights. And it takes 2 minutes or less, of course, depending on how much you have to say. But it's entirely asynchronous. You can do it on the go. There's no need for synchronous meetings, which of course is another big problem I see today. Is people just don't have time to sit in those meetings, and sometimes the compensation doesn't align, and then it becomes unaffordable for people to get expert insights. And so we're really trying to find this middle ground where you're not getting low quality for free insights, and you're not paying thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars for top tier experts. You're being able to access an entire expert network, and people choose their own rates, so you have a ton of diversity there.
That's incredible. And I think it fits into our discussion like around AI, right? And it's almost like you have this human expertise, and it's very hard to get that just from scanning internet pages for data and trying to, write an algorithm around it. Here you have this human experience that's being shared based on very individual levels of education, access to information, and honestly, just experience in the workplace. And so you get this expert, and you can choose the one that you want to speak with, and you get their kind of years of experience and expertise. And do you see like potential as I think about this in terms of, do you see that expertise being fed into like artificial intelligence as the next step? Or do you really see it kind of going in a different direction where we start valuing more the human expertise over the automatic or the, AI expertise? How do you see these two knowledge bases
Yeah.
combined working together?
It's a great question. And for me, it's all about choice and a flexibility. And
Yeah.
so, one feature we've built in the Wordbrew app is when you request an insight from somebody, and once it's been submitted, you can choose how that insight is displayed in the generated text.
Mm,
So, we have paraphrased insights, we have direct quotes, or we have a mix of the two. So,
okay.
paraphrasing essentially the unique insight that has been received essentially becomes source context, and it's basically invisible in the generated text that you receive once you generate the whole piece.
Yeah.
And then the direct quote is, of course, the expert's name will be mentioned, the link to the LinkedIn profile, and the actual insight will be in quotation marks. And then, of course, a blended quote is quite literally a mix between the two, where it's direct quoting and source context.
Very, very cool. So in the future, I personally see things becoming a lot more competitive, right? In terms of really high quality insights. And more people will need to build their brand, I think, if they want to move up in organizations or have a bigger impact. How do you see that? Do you agree, disagree? I'd just love to see your perspective.
Yeah, I think especially thinking about the brand side more than ever, if you fail to share your unique expertise in the content, then you're not sharing your story with others. And how can you expect to build trust and, you know, get customer buy-in when you're not sharing your expertise? There's nothing different or unique in the information you're sharing that another competitor is, right? So there's a real opportunity now, and a lot of people still aren't doing this. They're relying on AI to create their content from scratch, and they're trying to humanize it after. Why are we trying to do this retroactively? If you
Yeah.
bring the unique insights first, you get the unique output. And so just spending that tiny bit of extra time, of course, with a solution to do that, such as
Yeah.
Wordbrew, you can
Yeah.
actually request that insight very quickly and easily and turn that knowledge into content at scale.
I love that. Knowledge into content at scale. Um, that's really awesome. And how does it fit into there's a lot of things, there's books written. And so a lot of times we read books because that used to be the old way of getting information and knowledge. Now people have TikTok videos and YouTube. Um, do you see that content evolving? Do you see us still being more focused on the written content? Or do you see us moving more towards video or audio types of content?
Yeah, so I mean, I think different kinds of content serves different purposes for different audiences. Some types of content are just better than others, in my opinion. There's not necessarily one that wins the other in every situation. It's content is so complex. How people digest information is not always the same across industries, across topics, and so it's super important to remember that. And yeah, have that flexibility when you're creating content. It doesn't have to stay the same all the time. I hope I answered your question.
No, you did. You did. It doesn't have to. And you could actually generate another type of, I guess, medium. Um, it's just, I'm just thinking about, 5, 10 years from now, like, are people still going to be reading? Are they going to be listening mostly to content? Like,
Mm.
I'm just trying to think about the future as AI and like human expertise kind of continue to evolve and meet and, come apart. Like, what are we going to be? How are we going to start consuming information in the future?
Yeah, I truly I think that's something we're just gonna have to wait and see how it unfolds. I mean, I don't know at this time because things just change so quickly. And again, maybe we give people the choice, right?
Yeah.
In some blogs you can see that you're able to play the text. I think Substack
Yeah.
or Medium does this. If you at the
Yeah.
top of the blog, you're allowed to play and like listen to it as an audiobook. So, maybe that's one kind of solution. But yeah, I mean, things change, trends come in and out. So I guess we'll have to see. But I don't think I have an answer to that right now.
No, I mean, I don't think anyone does. I just wanted to hear your opinion because you're so ingrained in this space and it's important to you and your company. And I'm, nobody knows. And that's, is there anything, I mean, you've just been so insightful about so many things here, Georgia, but is there anything you want to mention for our audience? How do they connect with you? How do they start using your platform? What are the ways we can get engaged?
Yeah, so if anyone has any feedback or would like to learn more about Wordbrew, you can message me on LinkedIn or message me over email, georgia@wordbrew.com. Happy to chat asynchronously, set up a call, and I would love to hear your feedback. And if you want to join as an expert as well, feel free to contact me the same ways.
Ah, amazing. So we're gonna try to get this episode out in December, in the next few days, so people can sign up for your beta because that's coming out December 2nd, which is in a few days. Amazing, and then you're live in January. What a
Crazy.
huge accomplishment! I just want to commend you
Thank you
for
so much, Vicky. I
following
appreciate
your passion, doing the right things, and you're just such an inspiration. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you. And for whoever's listening, you can also find Vicky on Wordbrew as an expert.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited for giving my context of my years of experience and information and sharing that. It's
Yeah,
something that's very important to me. The community you're creating is what's really really beautiful here.
thank
So
you.
thank you so much. I really really appreciate it. If you would just